Apart from avid admirers of R&B history, this group holds a special position in the records of R&B music, if not, then in the imagination of many listeners. The centerpiece of today's video is all about the Clovers. Before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more uploads. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. This story begins in 1946 at Armstrong High School in Washington, D.C. with members Harold Lucas, Billy Shelton, John Buddy Bailey, and Thomas Woods, calling themselves the Four Clovers. In 1948, Shelton and Woods was kicked out of the group in an attempt to improve their sound, and Harold Winley and Matthew McWhorter took their places. 2 years later, in 1950, the group got its big break when they met Lou Krefetz, who went on to become the group's manager. The group's manager secured them a contract with Rainbow Records that was located in New York, where they issued the singles Yes Sir, That's My Baby,
No man, there's no use to hide it. Yes, sir.
and When You Come Back to Me.
Things will seem right again.
Following the local success of these two singles, the group was able to secure a new contract with Atlantic Records in 1951. Now, at this point, Bill Harris was added to the group as its guitarist. The group's first appearance came in February of that year at the Apollo Theater in New York. That same year, the group released two charted singles with Don't You Know I Love You,
Love you so. Don't you know I love you so.
and Fool.
Fool, fool, fool.
Bailey was soon drafted into the military that next year, and John Phillip was brought in to replace him. Charlie White took Phillip's place a few months after. In 1952, the group released the singles One Mint Julep,
I don't remember just how it started.
Middle of the Night,
Darling, said that you care. So just hold me, squeeze me, baby.
Ting-a-ling,
This girl's about to drive me wild. Well, I'm just a poor young boy.
Wonder Where's My Baby's Gone,
She left me this morning, and now I'm saying
Hey Miss Fanny,
she's just mad for you. Please don't drive me crazy too. Hey now, this
and I Played the Fool.
is the game, but darling, I played the fool.
The next year, the group released singles Crawling,
She didn't bat an eye when she saw me on the floor, just a crawling.
Good Lovin',
Cheap but I crave your good loving. Float to my grave for your good loving. You
and Coming Out.
I'm a hazy, kind of crazy, kind of groovy.
Billy Mitchell took over for White when he was fired from the group at the end of 1956, since he had too many personal issues. With little success, the group kept releasing records through Atlantic. After being released from the Army in May of 1954, Bailey formally rejoined the group, forming a quintet. Later on that year, they released singles Lovey Dovey,
can't get you out of my mind. Every time you get
Little Mama,
all along, in my life all along.
Your Cash Ain't Nothing But Trash,
Your cash ain't nothing but trash, so it ain't no need you're hanging around just to make a hit with.
and I Got My Eyes on You.
I had a dream last night that I held you tight. I dream you kissed me tenderly.
That next year, the group released charted singles Blue Velvet
From her eyes,
and Nip Slip.
and then I'm gonna order us a mellow malt. I'm gonna nip sip every day.
By 1956, the group's popularity began to increase with the release of the singles Devil or Angel
Devil or angel, please say you'll be
Hey Dawg Baby
back home. Hey, dog, baby, listen to me. Hey, dog, baby.
and Love.
There ain't nothing in this world for a boy and a girl but love, love, love.
The group's first ever crossover success was this song. After leaving the group in 1957, Mitchell eventually returned, performing both the group's work and paying considerable attention to his solo career. The group saw little success over the next 2 years as the popularity of their charted songs began to decline. Rather than letting the group go, after failing to find any success, Atlantic allowed them to walk away, where they signed with Popular Records, which United Artists Records later acquired. After agreeing to this new contract, Mike Stroller and Jerry Leiber was assigned to the group. Now, with this collaboration, the group recorded Love Potion No. 9, which was maybe the biggest song that they ever released in their second contract ended in 1961, and they went on to join Harold's brother label, Winley Records. The group chose to break up during this time because they was having little to no success. This incarnation of the group saw the return to Atlantic Records when Lucas and Mitchell made the decision to keep the group alive by adding new members, James Tay Walton and Robert Russell. Now under Winley Records, Bailey formed his own version of the group with the remaining members and just adding Roosevelt Tippy Hubbard. Together, they recorded songs for Tiger Records under the name Tippy and the Clovers. The only members of both groups that remained together after 1963 was Lucas, Bailey, and Winley. In 1965, Winley departed the group for the second time, allowing Bailey and Lucas to briefly record with Atlantic Records alongside Jimmy Taylor and Robert Russell, who was brought back. Bailey and Lucas left later that year to join Tippy and the Wise Men, a new group that recorded for Shine Records, with members Tippy Hubbard, Tay Walton, and Al Fox. Fox departed from the group and they later reunited as the Clovers under Lana Records. Bailey and his group recorded a few tunes from the Clovers catalog in 1965. Now, to further confuse things, in 1968, Harold Winley formed a third Clovers group, and this group went on to record for Josie Records. Now, after the death of Robert Russell in 1969, John Browie took over his spot. Following the death of Walton in 1975, Johnny Mason took over his spot. In 1980, Tippy Hubbard passed away, but saw Steve Charles take over his spot. In 1988, a reunion was planned and Lucas bought his version of the group, as well as reuniting with Bailey, McQuarter, and Winley. After Lucas stopped touring in 1993 due to illness, Richard Murray took over his spot. In 1992, Battle departed the group, and Preston Moreau took over his spot. David Warren then took over Battle's spot. In 2002, John Bowie passed away. That same year, the group was inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame. Johnny Mason sadly passed away on April 25, 2018. Now, despite many changes that the group experienced, they are still active today and touring on the oldie circuit. In 1989, the group received the Rhythm and Blues Foundation Pioneer Award. In 1991, the group was inducted into the United Group and Harmony Hall of Fame. 2003, the group was inducted into the Doo-Wop Music Hall of Fame, as well as the Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame in 2013. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song from the Clovers?